This is the Griffin Podcast, episode number 103. We're in our agent plan, and the question on the table is, who's going to help you build your business? Are you a home seller or a home buyer who has questions about selling or buying residential property? Or maybe you're an agent who needs a plan, but none of you can find an easy way to get your answers? Well, then, hey, you are definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of The Griffin and the host of the Ask-A-Griffin podcast, and to help you take immediate action to get started in the right direction. If you're a seller, a buyer, or an agent, you can take advantage of our free step-by-step guides that are waiting for you at griffincourses.com, Griffin courses.com. All right, let's get started. We are in our agent plan, one of our three major plans. We have a seller plan, a buyer plan, and an agent plan. And the question on the table, we're in the business section here, and we're in the last section of that where we ask you, who's going to help you build this business? Now, that's a trick question because the answer is the first point here. Nobody. Nobody's coming for you. And the sooner that you realize that, the more responsible you will become. It's a mantra that I've used this, my gosh, as a coach in the real estate agent business for a long time. I remind myself of that so that I don't get into that state of mind as an independent contractor where I blame anybody and I blame the circumstances. I am fully responsible. You must understand, and not every realtor or real estate agent for that matter across the country. Let me explain that, by the way. A real estate agent is somebody who gets licensed in a state or one of the contiguous countries or overseas. You get a license to become a real estate agent in the United States. Then you join an association, a local one and a national one. And that gives you access to what's called the multiple listing service. So that is the professional structure. Now, not every real estate licensee is a member of the association. So you have to understand, I'm trying to speak to the realtors who really see this as their profession, or even if it's a part-time profession. You have to understand what that means. You did not sign up to become an employee for the most part. Yes, there are employees who have licenses that work for companies that treat them as employees. Kind of a tricky, slippery slope there, if you ask me, because it's really difficult for especially some of the big national brokerages that try to do that. It's pretty tricky for them to feed you business and to pay you for something that really is a commissionable event. So to me, the majority of this business, it makes sense that we're filled with independent contractors. So what does that mean? When you're an independent contractor, you're contracting with another business. So even if you're just a sole proprietorship and you haven't incorporated yourself, which you should, by the way, see an attorney and an accountant for the right advice on that. So what you really want to do, though, is understand that you have just been a business that has signed an agreement with another business for some sort of a brokerage relationship. And that's the next point here. Your brokerage or your agency will only do so much because they can only do so much. What are they going to do? I mean, as an agency business model, because I have my own agency, The Griffin, and now it's in 5 different states, our goal is to grow it, to help as many agents who will then subsequently help as many sellers and buyers in the context of residential real estate. That's what we do. So our incentive as a brokerage is to help a lot of people. So at some point in time, that puts pressure on the resources that you have to help each individual person. So our philosophy is to be an educational-based company that teaches these simple plans and then goes deep into the teaching. So we teach them the seller plan, we teach them the agency plan, or the buyer plan. So we teach that's how you take good care of these people in a professional context. That's what we do. But at some point in time, I can't sit there past the teaching and hold somebody's hand and say, do this, do this. They have to go out into the real world and they have to market themselves in their business and to attract people so that they can serve them. And then by serving them, by giving away their best what to do information for free, then they'll magnetize business. So I can teach all that, but they have to go out and do it. So even a company like mine that is passionate, as you can see from this podcast, we're passionate about not just educating our own folks, but echoing a positive effect into all our communities and giving away our best what to do information for free. But even that's only so far you can go, right? You run out of ability to have the agent actually do the business. They have to go out and run the open house. They have to go out and show the properties. They have to go out and list the properties. It's what they have to do. So really, it's just simply, the third point is recognizing that you own your own business. You have to recognize it, that you are a business within a brokerage business. Sure, that's the way that it works. And even if you are a W-2 employee, you still are responsible for yourself. So the company's only going to give you so many leads. And even independent contractors, there are a lot of models out there that they're giving away leads. So what? I mean, leads can be the ugliest word in the real estate agent business because it's just contact information. And we don't even know if somebody really has context to sell or buy anytime soon. So you might be getting some leads, you might be getting some education, but you're the one that has to put it together. So the minute that you recognize you own your own business, it almost takes a burden off of you to feel bad about the agency or the situation that you're in, because it becomes very easy. And this happens all the time in the real estate agent business. You see agents moving from one company to the next company to the next company, expecting what? Well, they have a better split over there, and they have better education and training over here, and on it goes. It's, look at all of that's available to every single real estate agent, whether it's at the brokerage, outside the brokerage, it's there. So what? You still have to go out there and get the right information, put it in the right order for yourself. And you have to continuously study it, continuously practice it. It's like anything. You're not going to be good as a real estate agent business yourself, okay, without understanding that you need to be planned out. And that's the final key point here. You have to build a plan to help you grow your business while relying only on you in the beginning to do so. Let me explain. When we talk about this agent plan at the Griffin, we give away a wireframe to anybody who's interested on what to do. Because as educators and as doers of this business for a long time and still active in it myself every day, I took what I believed to be the biggest chunks and put them together for an agent to understand. So for example, we are in the first phase of the agent plan where we're talking very clearly, don't go past this lesson. This is a business, not a job. That's the essence of the first beat of the plan. So once you understand that, well, the next thing you say is, well, what's the rest of the plan? That's the key. See, a lot of real estate agents they go to a brokerage and, okay, now write a letter to all your friends and tell them you're a realtor so you have this new context. Great. I did that. Okay, now see who they know. Okay, so now you became the biggest pest in the family. You're calling everybody like that. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing if there's context. If you're just trying to make somebody aware of something, I mean, look, I can even show you a better business plan than that right away. Sure, let everybody in your quote-unquote sphere of influence know that you now have this new context, that you're a realtor. But I would very quickly also tell them, by the way, realtor means you join the National Association, not just a real estate agent. But also tell them that if you or anybody you know is thinking about selling, you have a seller plan and you have a buyer plan. So that means you better go get educated on the real selling process and buying process, not what's perceived to be those things, but what is factually the order of things. See, that's how you look at sellers and buyers and saying that your unique selling proposition to them would be giving away what to do as a plan, whether they use you or not. Super powerful. And that's a marketing concept. So we have this business that now is a marketing concept that it's going to give away a seller and a buyer plan, which is simply their best what to do information for free, even if those people don't choose to do business with you, the company, or anything at all. That's marketing. You see, we've thought about this and we execute this, and transparently, here I am giving away to agents who may or may not join the Griffin what to do information for free, including the whole entire plan to listen to it, because it's just good stewardship to give away your best what to do information for free. But then what happens is that begins to magnetize in people who say, well, wait a minute, I need somebody to help me on the how to do this. Are you available to be my buyer agent? I know that sounds crazy to some of you who don't do it this way. I can't tell you how many times I have inbound emails after I've treated somebody like this at an open house, a showing, whatever it might be, who say, are you taking on any more buyer clients? Especially at luxury. People really appreciate this at the high end. So that's what I'm saying about starting to build a plan, putting the right stuff in the right order. By the way, I don't know if you'll see it in this podcast because it's probably blurred out behind me with the fancy schmancy camera, but all sorts of educational books behind me about business, small business, psychology. I could go on and on. I mean, I study this a lot. And that's what affects my plan. I don't make my plan more complicated, by the way. One of the greatest things that I've learned to do is simplify the plan. It's sort of like the Twitter moment. Edit your thoughts down to just so many characters. Limit it that way. That's the best way to work on a plan. And I say that because I remember when I was trying to get in this business, I went out looking for plans, and all I saw were these complicated frameworks for these business plans. That's why I built my own and started giving it away, okay? All right, let me go back and say this. We're in the agent plan. Question on the table is, who's going to help you build your business? The first point is nobody, because nobody's coming for you. The second point is your brokerage or agency that you become connected with, they can only do so much. Even if it's a great place, they run out of gas to help you. You have to help yourself. So the third point is recognize this and recognize that you own your own business, not a job. And the key point is to start to build a plan to grow your business while relying on only you to do so. Don't wait for anybody. I will help you because you can go to griffincourses.com and get a copy of this agent plan and just listen to it, right? I'll summarize it by saying one of the most important things to remember when you're building a business is that nobody's coming for you. Real estate agents who are independent contractors are fully responsible for building their own businesses, no matter how much help they receive from their brokerage. The key is to build, follow, and adjust a simple and effective business plan. All right, remember, you can take immediate action to get started in the right direction if you're a seller, buyer, or agent who wants help by getting a copy of our free step-by-step guides at griffincourses.com. Also, don't forget, you can subscribe to this very podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen. We also post our content on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe to The Griffin, that's Griffin channel on YouTube. We'd also appreciate it if you would share our content with home sellers and home buyers, or maybe real estate agents that you know, or a budding real estate agent who's trying to get into the business so that they get the help that they need. That's all we want you to do. And remember this, watch this, because you just heard it. Nobody's coming for you. Nobody. So take action to get to work on a plan for buying or selling a property if you're a buyer or seller listening to this, or becoming a successful real estate agent like we talked about today in the agent plan. And of course, we'll see you in the next episode to try and help you do just that. Thanks.